Hi guys, welcome to the Raven Wolf channel. This is Anna, and today I'm gonna be talking about the Day of the Dead, or El Día de los Muertos celebration. So Hanal Pixan is the celebration of the Day of the Dead that originated from the Mayan culture. The Mayans believed that death was simply another form of life. Hanal Pixan means food of the souls, and is celebrated to remember friends and relatives that have passed on to the afterlife. The first day, October 31st, of the celebration is dedicated to the kids, and it's called in the Mayan language Hanal Palal. The second day of celebration is on November 1st and is for the adults, and it's the name in Mayan language is Hanal Nucuch Uinicoob. And the third day is called Hanal Pixanoob and is dedicated for all the death in general. The Day of the Dead was originally, according to the Aztec calendar, celebrated during the 9th month of the solar year. The survival of this tradition after the arrival of the colonizers and the process of evangelization is explained in the syncretic fusion of the Mesoamerican tradition with the Catholic. Hence, the calendar coincides with the Christian festivities such as All Saints' Day, the 1st of November, and the All Souls' Day on the 2nd of the same month. So, yeah. In my first Cuatlicue video, I talk about religious syncretism, which pretty much is when the Catholics convert a pagan festivity or a pagan belief into Catholic, and they made it their own festivity when it was originally like a pagan celebration or ritual. But anyways, the ritual of the Day of the Dead is intended to honor and celebrate the lives of ancestors and the dead loved ones. In this sense, they're given with all kinds of offerings, and an altar is created in their memory inside of their houses. The Day of the Dead is a day of recollection, the memory and the presence of the family dead is celebrated, and those days they return home to be with their relatives and to feed on the offerings that had been dedicated to them, and those offerings you leave them on the altar that you make. In Aztec mythology, literally, Lady of the Dead is the queen of Mictlan, the underworld, ruling over the afterlife with Mictlantecuhtli, another deity who is her husband. So her role is to watch over the bones of the dead and presides over this ancient festival of the dead. The Aztec, there's a Lady of the Dead that is the goddess of the underworld. And in a lot of the Aztec and Mayan gods, deities, pantheon, they always have a counterpart. It's rare when there's only one god. There's usually two god, the god and the goddess, their counterpart. But anyways, so now I'm going to start listing some of the basic items for the offerings and the altars that it's usually put out. So one is the candles or torches that are used to present the fire element. They're placed in a shape of a cross, pointing the 4 cardinal points according to the pre-Hispanic tradition. This in order that the deceased have enlightenment and can recognize the way to the world of the living. The next one is marigolds. which is a flower and is the most popular flower used during the Day of the Dead celebration, but it also has a purpose. Marigold's vibrant color is said to represent the sun, which in the Aztec mythology guides the spirits on their way to the underworld. By using them in the Day of the Day rituals, the strong aroma of the flowers attract the spirits who are believed to return to their families at this time, helping them to find their way. Then another item is a glass of water on the altar. Water is a source of life and represents purity. It quenches the thirst of the spirits, and it represents the water element. Next is the seasonal fruits and special bread called pan de muertos are usually placed on the altar, along with other foods that the person enjoys in life. Mexicans usually place tamales, mole, and hot chocolate on the altar, but you can use whatever fruit and other foods available to you. The food is a feast that is laid out for the spirits to enjoy. It is believed that they consume the scent and the essence of the food, and that represents the earth element. It is also customary to burn copal incense, which clears the space of any negative energy or bad spirits and help the dead find their way. And that is for the air element. Pretty much when you do create an altar, it doesn't have to be all complicated. It can be as simple. And here I will attach a picture of my mom and my dad created a small altar for my grandma. And as you guys can see, it's very simple. It's on a chair. It's not on a fancy altar or anything. But you pretty much, you can put a picture of your dead relative or not. You don't have to put a picture necessarily. But you usually put things that the person enjoyed while living, like I have an uncle that he loves cigarettes, so I will put a pack of cigarettes for him. Or if he liked tequila, I will put a tequila bottle or a shot of tequila or something like that. So it's pretty much there's not a right way or a wrong way to do it. The main important thing is that you remember those past relatives and ancestors, and you honor them and you remember them as they were in the living. So that's the whole purpose of this. It's a celebration of remembrance. Another fun fact I found is that in some families it is customary to tie up the dogs to help allow the spirits to freely pass through the house undisturbed. Because I guess, if you watch my past video of Anubis in Mexico, the dog Solot guides the soul onto the underworld. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. And like I mentioned at the beginning, today is actually the last day of celebration of this Day of the Dead. And another interesting thing I found is that in the galactic calendar, we had 10 days in a row of gap days, of galactic activation portal days. And they open right before, the celebration of the Day of the Dead started. And the last gap days, it's, in 3 days it closes those gap days. So to me, it's interesting because it speaks in a way that the Mayan calendar was formed when the veil was the most thinnest to be able to connect with your ancestors, with your loved ones, your past loved ones. I don't know. I just think that energy helps to get into the celebration mode and the ritual of celebrating the death. But okay, you guys, I hope you enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later. Much love in Lakesh.